Wednesday afternoon as the Mariners get ready to take on Cleveland. Who's happy to be at the ballpark today? Everybody. This is an exciting team to watch. We're going to have a lot of fun this year. I'm Rick Rizzs, and I'm going to be your host over the course of the next 15 minutes or so for this historic Mariners Hall of Fame Roundtable. We got some of the greats here, presented by Alaska Airlines, where we're going to talk to some of the greatest members of all time in the history of our franchise. So without further ado, let's introduce them. First of all, he was the very first member of the Mariners Hall of Fame in 1997, one of the nicest guys you'll ever want to meet, Mr. Mariner himself, Alvin Davis. Next up, the longest tenured Mariner of all time and a National Baseball Hall of Famer, number 11, Edgar Martinez. Our next guest needs no introduction. 630 home runs, a member of the Baseball Hall of Fame, the kid number 24, Ken Griffey Jr. And finally joining us, the newest member of the Mariners Hall of Fame, and he's going to be a future National Baseball Hall of Famer himself, the man of the hour, number 51, Ichiro Suzuki. Alongside Ichiro is his longtime interpreter, Alan Turner. All right, gentlemen, before we get into this fun discussion about Mariners baseball, these guys' contribution, Ichiro, what a great night last night. Congratulations on becoming the newest member of the Mariners Hall of Fame. But right now, you got a little message you would like to tell the fans here at T-Mobile Park before we get started.
Today, I can't speak English, so I will speak Japanese. Is that okay?
That is just fine.
Yes.
Arigato.
Thank you.
All right, let's get started because these guys were so much a part of the history here in Seattle. Alvin, Edgar, Ken Griffey Jr., and also Ichiro. They all know, intimately know Ichiro Suzuki, what he meant on the field and off the field. So I want to get everybody's first impression or favorite story about number 51 right here, Ichiro Suzuki. Alvin, I want to start off with you. What's your favorite story about Ichiro?
Wow, thank you, Rick. So many stories. I've been able to observe Ichiro over the years and just see the way that he goes about his work, his preparation, his passion and love for the game. And I just respect him beyond measure. All of these guys up here and everything that they've accomplished in their careers. So Ichiro, congratulations again. It's been an honor to work beside you and just to see how you impact our organization and the entire game of baseball. I remember I played in Japan and for a half a season in 1992. It was Ichiro's rookie year. He was in the minor leagues, but we had an occasion when we went to Kobe and we went to their workout facility. I don't think we were able to take batting practice or prepare on the field that day. And so we went to the workout facility and we worked out there. I got to meet Jim Colburn and Kelvin Torve, who was on the Major League team at that time. Well, fast forward to 2001, the All-Star Game festivities here in Seattle. And my family and I, after one of the festivities, were walking back to the hotel and we visited the baseball card shops. And as I was looking through the case, I saw Ichiro's rookie card from Japan, from the Orioles Blue Wave. And I looked at it and I said, I know that guy. I remember him. I met him over in Kobe years and years and years ago. And here he is in the United States. So I felt a kinship with Ichiro ever since then because of my honor to play in Japan.
So you saw him long before we did.
Yes.
Edgar, you spent a lot of time with this man on the field, in the clubhouse. Do you have a favorite story about Ichiro?
Yes, again, Ichiro, congratulations, well deserved. I remember when Ichiro first came to the organization, the first year spring training, Ichiro's working on his craft. He's hitting everything to left field. For about a week, he's hitting the ball the opposite field. And Lou wanted to find out if he can pull the ball. So he came to Alan and said, Alan, can you ask Ichiro to pull the ball? I remember Lou saying, "I just want an appetizer." So I think it was about 2 innings later, Ichiro pulled the ball and hit a home run. He came around the bases. When he got to the dugout, he told Lou, "You happy now?" So that was my best story about Ichiro.
Yeah, Lou said, yeah, I'm fine. It's okay. He was foul balls right over his head, sitting in that folding chair at the third base side. Junior, you're next. You got a favorite Ichiro story? You spent a lot of time with the man.
I don't really have a story. I will tell you, last night when he said that there's life lessons that I've taught him, it's the same. He's taught me life lessons as well. The things that he does that nobody sees in the locker room, the training, the preparation that he has. Being a 38-year-old guy, when I come back, just watching that, it was so impressive. And things that he's done, even to today, going out, the way he prepares, how he helps the organization. You can't ask for a better guy to do that. And I'm just thankful that he's with us, and he will continue to be with us.
He's going to be here for a long time. All right, Ichiro, your turn. You spent a lot of time with these guys, did commercials with this young man right here. What's your favorite Ken Griffey Jr. story?
初めてやったのが95年で27年後が今です。その時からジュニアは何も変わっていない。これが僕がジュニアを尊敬する最大の理由で、ジュニアがやっぱ素晴らしい人間であることの証明だと僕は思っています。
The first time I met Junior was in '95, and it's 27 years later now. But he's the same guy that he was back then. He hasn't changed, and I really respect him for that. He treats everybody the same, and that's something that I respect about him the most.
Isn't that great? How many were here at the ballpark last night for Ichiro's induction ceremony? It was one of the greatest speeches I've ever heard. The emotion, talking about his career, how he got started, even your barking dogs, that was hilarious. Ichiro, what was your favorite moment about the ceremony last night, being inducted as the 10th and newest member of the Mariners Hall of Fame?
もちろんシアトルのファンの方とまた強い関係ができたということが一番大きかったんですけど、僕の全力のメッセージがワンちゃん2匹に負けたっていう、それがちょっと悲しかったです。
Of course, the fans, to be able to come back and be able to have this special relationship with you guys, that was very special for me last night. But last night the dogs gave a speech, and I think they beat me to that, and that their speech was better than mine. But it was a great night.
That was a lot of fun, and congratulations on behalf of all the fans. Alvin, you were the first one inducted into this very special group, the first one into the Mariners Hall of Fame. Dave Niehaus called you Mr. Mariner. What's it been like to see this Hall of Fame grow from when you first started and to see Ichiro go in last night?
Yeah, Rick, as I was sitting here yesterday, it was surreal. For one thing, just being on the field, being these close to these great players and these great people. They're great men, and I just enjoy and love every one of them, and every minute that I get to spend with every one of them is an honor. And I would have never dreamed in '97, I could have never dreamed that it would have been like this experience, to be a part of this fraternity. And so I feel honored every time I'm here, and just to be with these guys and what they have meant and built into this organization, their DNA, their very souls are vibrant in this organization, and they always will be. And I think that's the way that it should be, and I'm just honored to be a part of it.
It's an amazing group. Junior, you first met Ichiro, you said, in 1995 at a Benihana, in Cincinnati? What was your first impression at that first meeting?
My first impression is he said hello, and then he said, "Hello, George." So he's been calling me that for a while.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. My memory is a little better than yours sometimes. Actually, he didn't say that, but I'm gonna just throw that in there. But we got to talking, and the only reason why I picked Benihana's, which is not a traditional Japanese restaurant, is that the head chef was from Tokyo, and I figured that they'd have something in common and break the ice. And I've had the same chef since I was 6 years old. But we got to talking, and we realized how much we have in common. You look at everything else going around in this world, and we have a same common goal, to go out there and be the best baseball players we can be. And he was the best in Japan, and I was still trying to make my way in the States. And, after a while, I was able to take control of that for a little bit. So now you have to pass the torch every now and then. But just his competitiveness, his confidence, the way he went out his business day in and day out, that was the most impressive thing. I mean, you watch him day in and day out. It's a work of art. It's nothing that nobody compares.
Well said. Edgar, 2001, this young man shows up. He's the American League Rookie of the Year. We're going to have another one this year. He was the American League MVP in his first year in the big leagues. And Edgar, you had a front row seat to watch this. What was it like watching Ichiro every day during his rookie season?
What stands out for me was how well he knew what he needed to do to be very consistent. He had a routine. Every day he will do the same routine. He had that work ethic. He had a work habit that was very unique, very strong, and his focus. He was laser focused on his work, and it shows in the kind of season he had, and also his career. He's very disciplined, and that's something that I admire about him.
What a year in 2001. Ichiro, you mentioned before that you were a big fan of Ken Griffey Jr. Now here comes 2009, and there's whispers that Jr. is going to re-sign with the ball club. What were you thinking about Jr. coming back at that point? And then you get a chance to play with Jr. in 2009. You guys are carried on the shoulders of your teammates at the end of the season. What are your memories before the season, and what was it like to end that year walking off the field, being carried off by your teammates along with Jr.?
あの時のマリナーズはもうとても苦しんでいて、最後の大きなピースが必要だったんですけど、ジュニアが来てくれたことでまたマリナーズに戻った、そんな感じの存在でした。ジュニアはマリナーズにまた戻してくれたチームを、バラバラだったチームを最後のピースがこう戻ったことで戻してくれた、そんな印象でした。
We were struggling that year, before that year, and we needed something to change it. And when Junior came, we became the Mariners again, and we were able to get back to being the Seattle Mariners, and he really helped us get back on track.
It's fun having you back, kid. Alvin, Edgar, you guys are working for the organization, special advisors and coaches in the organization. Ichiro's doing the same thing after a long and great career. Likewise, you two, Alvin, Edgar. What's it like to see Ichiro now be a part of the organization, helping out the young players on this ball club and the veteran guys as well? AD?
Yeah, it's amazing, just to see the relationship that Ichiro and Julio have been able to form over the years, and how Ichiro has mentored Julio and spoken into his career. it's been phenomenal to watch and to learn from. I quote Ichiro all the time, and when I'm with our young players, when I talk about preparation, to piggyback on what Edgar was saying, and just how a part of Ichiro's goal from his preparation was to know who he was on a particular day, and to start making little minor and micro adjustments that he needed to be successful at 7:05. And our players need to hear that. Like, sometimes our young players don't understand the real goal of their preparation and what each rep represents, and that they can take that into the game at 7:05 or 6:05, whatever time their game starts. And so I quote Ichiro often. I overheard him mention that to one of our young players. So I hope it's okay if I stole that from you, and I use that to share with our players, because it just helps them get something to attach their preparation to, so that's not just preparation for the sake of preparation. It has an end goal in mind, and that's to do whatever you need to do to help your team win the game that night.
Papi?
Yeah, I think what you said, AD, the preparation is a key, but Ichiro has so much knowledge about the game. He studied the game, and always he's studying, learning, and sharing that information with the young players is have a lot of value. And the way that the players, just by watching him, again, how he goes about his business, his dedication, he had a lot of value to the young players.
Junior, we had a chance to watch Ichiro's career start in Seattle and with the Mariners, but over in Tokyo, how many guys can write a script like that? We opened up this 2019 season with a 2-game series against the Oakland A's, sellout crowds for those ball games, and Junior, you were there. You were so kind to join us one game on the radio. What was it like to see that emotion from so many fans in Japan where his career started, and you be a part of that, to watch an unbelievable ending to an amazing career?
It was unbelievable. I have so much respect for Ichiro, and to watch him start his career in Japan, which I didn't get to see that, but to be able to end it in Japan with his home country, his home fan, the people that have stuck with him through 20 years. It's a movie script, and it was unbelievable to watch the emotion. I got chills just sitting there, and I couldn't wait for him to come off so I can give him a hug and just say that I love him and I'm proud of him. And it was the victory lap was one of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
That was a lot of fun. It was so much fun to be a part of that, Ichiro. Ladies and gentlemen, on this stage right here in the infield, a grand total with Alvin, Edgar, Ichiro, and Junior, 8,585 games, 9,306 hits, 1,216 home runs, 31 All-Star appearances, 4 batting titles, 2 MVPs. A warm hello to the guys on our panel today, Alvin Davis, Edgar Martinez, Ken Griffey Jr., and the man of the hour, the newest member of the Mariners Hall of Fame, Ichiro Suzuki. This has been fantastic. So much history and excellence here on the field. We got a chance to talk with the greatest in the history of our ball club. Let's hear it once again for AD, Edgar, Ken Jr., and Ichiro. Enjoy the ball game, everybody. It's been a lot of fun. Go Mariners. Thank you, buddy.